Hello, this is Yannis from Any Repair. Today we will go through a common fault on a Huawei matebook d15 notebook, and this fault is a dead CPU. We will go and diagnose the CPU death, and after that we will try and replace the CPU. Let's go and see how we'll do this. This is the board, it's on our desk, and we can see that this little coil beside the CPU, the PCH, the little crystal next to the big crystal on the CPU, has very little tiny resistance to ground. Let's go and see with our microscope in detail what we are talking about. This is the coil, the little one. You can see in diode mode, it has a very low resistance to ground, a very low voltage drop. That means a very low resistance to ground. We are checking if we have a fail on a MOSFET that feeds this coil, but we are not having anything. As we said before, this is a common issue that happens to that Mate D15 notebook. We are checking the capacitors on the 3 and 5 volt rails. I think this is the 3 volt rail, which is good. This is a capacitor on the main rail, and we are good. Since the fault is on the PCH, we have no luck, and we must throw away this board or replace the CPU. As our customer agreed, we will try and replace it. We will add some flux and remove this resin from the edges of the CPU in order to remove it properly. And with our heat gun, about 20% of air and 200 Celsius, we will remove the resin. We will go faster. We don't want to spend your time by doing something that is not so difficult to do. Only with the tweezer needs some extra awareness because we don't want to rip any component, and we don't want to scratch the board below the CPU. So we're going and removing gently these silicone or resin things. And after that, after we will remove these anchors, we will be ready to remove the CPU and test our luck for this repair. The board is prepared. It is below the rework station, and it is heating up. As soon as it is ready, we will lift the chip and do our measurements in order to check if the short is gone or not. You see the flags boiling. It is about 180 degrees. The temperature is rising. And as soon as the IC will be in liquidus mode, in liquidus state, we will poke it and since it will be loose from the board, like that, we will remove it. And that's what we're doing now. We'll use our tweezer because our suction was not good. And now we must check for shorts on the board. The board is on our desk now, the CPU has been lifted and this is the one. And now we will check for shorts, ground to the coil, and we must press a little more. Our multimeter is not running. Now it will be functional again, and you can see that the voltage drop has increased significantly, and I think the fallen CPU was the problem. Now we need to clean up the pads. Take our new CPU that is fresh, delivered from China. Hopefully it will be a good one. And we will replace it and check the results. The CPU was aligned. It was not so easy. It is never so easy to align the large BGA chip. These components, this board has capacitors beneath the CPU, so we must be extra careful. And now the CPU is heating up, and then as soon as it will melt the BGA, the balls beneath the CPU, it will be ready to check its functionality. We will check for the balls to shine. That will be a very good indication that they are melting. You see they are melting. And the CPU, it's coming closer to the PCH. That's why we are using a camera, because the profile is okay, but you need to see some things. The CPU is soldered, and we must put everything back in order to test and determine if the job was done properly or not. We're adding some thermal paste. We will add the heatsink and we'll place the board back on its chassis in order to power on and test for display and all the things that we must test in order to determine if the job is done properly. Of course, we are in multiple speed. Before we will put the motherboard back in its chassis, we must plug the charger and see the amps, which are good. And after that, we must check for some voltages. I will do it in a minute, because if the core is not responding, all this will be in vain. So we will go and check the voltages on all the rails. We have 12 volts. We have 0.9 on the PCH, which it was needed. So the voltages are coming for this board. Now we're skipping on everything and we have the motherboard back on its chassis. We will try to power on this notebook. We will plug the charger. We are having some amps. But the notebook is not powering on. Maybe we need to press a power button. Since the power button is not responding, we will use our tweezer to power it on. And after some effort, the amps are rising. And hopefully we will have display. We had a flicker, and this is the display we needed. It was a successful repair. That was the repair as you saw. If you liked this video, consider like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching. See you in another repair.